Hi gang, welcome back to the Honest Latina Ever. Today's topic is going to be PTSD, and we're going to be talking some shit. I was raised military, and the irony is people say it to me, oh, you curse like a sailor. My father was in the military, and he was that sailor. And I'll tell you, my Puerto Rican mother could out-curse him any day of the week. She could just curse him right into the table. And my dad would say to me when, every once in a while my mouth would, go off and stuff, he's like, really intelligent people learn to use their words, they don't swear. So it's my dad who tried to get me to clean up my potty mouth so I didn't sound like my terrible mother who just threw every F book out the window when she got into an argument. So it was just so funny because she was hysterical. But when we want to talk about culture and family and why we are the way we are, has a lot to do with my environment. Our whole family is funny. My grandmother is like 93 years old, and she shares the same birthday as President Trump. And I refuse to call her because, when I do, the first thing she'll tell me is about her bowel habits. We will not see each other for 20 years or 10 years, and she'll just go on and on about her constipation issues. And it's just not my grandmother; it's our whole family. But I grew up in a military town, Coronado, California, and we always know the end of the night was coming when we'd all sit around and talk about shit. And I mean, that's just where the conversation went. So I really think in life, everything boils down to shitting. And I can prove this theory here because when you're at the end of your life and you're all doped up on your meds, because I experienced this even after my head-on accident, all that stuff is so constipating. I remember dealing with somebody that was at the end of his life and he was going through hospice and he was just a really dear friend and somebody I really cared about. And he was so upset, not that he was dying, but he just said, Dee, what is this worth? I can't shit. And I'm not busting into a laugh at all. I go, I know, I mean, the medications they give you don't work. I mean, it comes down to, me having to put those rubber gloves on and doing the dirty. But, I did that for him. But, basically, we all go through life and nobody wants to talk about shit. And I remember being at the table with a state senator and we were having lunch and the food was just god awful. And I think I had food poisoning, and boy, talking about shitting, see, it goes to show you never bring up shit at the lunch table with a senator because you will end up shitting out all your food. But that is exactly what happened to me. But anyway, Bill and I both had food poisoning off those fish tacos. But anyway, we were canvassing for a state senator, and I was bringing up the fact that my kids, were in special ed, and one of them had autism, and he failed to use the toilet. And the thing is that it wasn't that he couldn't use the toilet; it's just that he didn't want to use the toilet, and they would skid their pants. And so I came up with these ideas, skiddies for kiddies. And I mean, I came up with this idea 20 years ago before it ever hit the market, and somebody took my idea. Or they had a kid that used to skid themselves like my kids and didn't want to do the diaper thing or change the underwear. And I would just throw the underwear out and just buy a new package of them and stuff. And I got tired of doing that. That's so costly that I took my maxi pads, my thin ones, and stuck them where their little asses were. And I said, you know what? Next time you skid your britches, you just rip that baby right on out and throw it in the trash. And you can take care of yourself because I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. But anyway, I said this at the lunch table to a new boyfriend, and to his horror, he's trying to keep a serious face, and these people have no sense of humor because I'm being funny, and that's just how I am, and I thought it would be received well, but it wasn't, and it's just that people have sticks up their ass and they can't shit. That's the problem. But anyway, everything boils down to that. Everything. I don't have a good day unless I shit, shower, and shave in that order, and so and my dad, he's in the military, was the same way. And so really my heart goes out to people that have issues with that. And some of us smoke so we can make that process happen more. We put extra fiber in our food, or we avoid certain things, or certain things make us shit a lot, like corn. But you know what, when we all boil down to everything, and especially when you're talking politics, it all boils down to shit. And I always had to deal with the bag of shit, literally. Gotta tell you a story. When I was growing up, I grew up in a Navy base area, you know, and a lot of military kids. And I was friends with these kids that were sons of captains, but I should be calling them sons of a bitches, because, you know what, my dad was just a sailor, you know, so I'm low level rank, you know, to them. And they were assholes. And one day they were drunk and they were hanging out in the alley, and I walked up to them. One of them was my boyfriend, and I said, "What are you guys doing?" And they're laughing, and they hand me a bucket of lemons, and I'm like, "Great, you guys are picking lemons, right?" No, they weren't picking lemons, guys. They were throwing the lemons at the sailors coming off the Navy base, and they nailed a car. And right as they nailed the car, I came out, and they gave me the bucket. They all took off running. They jumped over a fence. I hear these tires screeching, and they come back, and I'm standing there, and this is the equivalent to a woman that is in Vietnam, you know, who somebody else throws the bomb, but she's standing in the road looking like a deer caught in the headlights, you know. And that's me, you know. And I'm going to get my ass kicked by these sailors, you know. They're going to kick my ass. And these guys knew that these sailors wouldn't kick my stupid ass, but I'm sitting there holding the lemon bucket. That is how I felt in the world of politics. You guys have no idea what I've been through and what I did. And so before anybody sits there and tells me how stupid I am, and I did all this work for free, and before anybody like says you're crazy and nuts, you know, until you have a car coming into your lane at 70 miles an hour, where your kid is sliced in half and her organs that are in bags outside her body, you don't tell me how to act or how to fucking behave or what to fucking say or how to dress or how to look. I went to this Republican group, and everybody in that room at one time had judged me, told me how to fucking look, how to dress, how to talk, how to act, how to be. And look, you know what? I'm not even running for office, people. I'm just trying to be in your presence, okay? And I mean, my batshit crazy doesn't even begin to describe some of their batshit crazy, because you know what? I would never inject a bunch of Botox into my lips or put any foreign substance in my body unless it was a metal plate and it was necessary to attach my shoulder bone back to my body because that got ripped off during the accident, or to wire my knee that was badly shattered when a car came speeding into my lane at 70 miles an hour after somebody threatened my life, after I moved important legislation that to save this motherfucking country. So you don't anybody tell me what to say, how to act, or what kind of words I use, or don't even critique my punctuation, because until you have actually walked a day in my shoes, don't tell me how to be. I know what it's like for these guys that have PTSD, who come back and they hear a certain sound, or they're reminded of a certain situation, and they totally freak out, because every time I go over that mountain pass where that car came into my lane and hit me at 70 miles an hour, my arm just goes like this, you know, to block my face, to block that image that I see over and over again. I'm in a flat state where there's no hills. And that's not by accident, because I was like, when I was researching where to go after my accident, because I wanted to go as far away from that area as possible, I was looking for a nice flat state. You know, the first thing I was looking is like, oh, is it flat? Is it where I can get to the store? Because even driving 5 miles is a huge deal for me, because I'm thinking somebody's just going to go, or, you know, it's like a video game, and you're seeing things that are not there. And you have to tell your mind, this is just fake. It's not real. You know, it's imaginary. So, you know, until you've dealt with the shit, until you've gone through the things I did, and I know that I can be funny, but on a serious note, we have completely abandoned our vets and these people that gave everything to us. And they come back here to this country badly injured, and we're sitting here giving lots of free shit to people that are wanting to blow us up, to people that don't give a shit about who we are, who don't give a shit about the rules and the laws, who don't give a shit about our culture, who are just basically shitting on this country. And if you're not pissed off, then something is terribly wrong with you. You're not paying attention. And then our guys who do everything for this country are being shitted on. And so that is my topic of shit. And some of it's funny and some of it's not. And I'm here to keep it real. I'm not here to care about what you think or if I offended you, because those people don't matter. You know, the people that do matter are the people that get it. And, you know, Alex Jones, the conspiracy guy, he gets it. you know, right before my life was almost taken from me, I was threatened by somebody, and they said to me as I was leaving the Capitol, something's going to happen to you and your daughter, and we're tired of all the things, the shit that you're doing. You think you're hot shit. And I didn't take it seriously. I just said, this is a loon, this is a crazy guy threatening my life. But next time somebody comes up to you and threatens the life of you and your kid, you make sure you find out who that person is and you report them to the police. Because we live in a place where nobody has the right to take anybody else's life or threaten them. And I did the things that I thought were best for my country. And if you don't agree, then fuck you. Because you know what? If you think it's okay to keep that fucking goddamn border open, and if you think it's okay to put your nose up Mr. Bush's ass, you know, and give out leaf blowers to these illegal aliens that do your yard for less, and if you think it's okay as a Republican to sit there and exploit this slave labor by selling this country out and selling us a fucking bill of goods, you know, while you're supporting this fucking bitch like Hillary Clinton, who's selling off of the uranium to the Russians and standing with them, trying to get money for yourself so you could pad your freaking, you know, what do you call those, nonprofits, and secretly telling people, oh, we're going to give 100% of the proceeds to these victims. You didn't give the money to the people of Haiti. So what makes us think that you're going to give the money for the libraries or whatever, right? Because you know what? I am so tired of people who are full of shit, you know, and they are. And talk is real cheap, and it comes from people that have the most money. And it's very sad because those people really don't walk the talk. Because if those Bushes weren't right there with those corrupt Clintons, they wouldn't be, you know, sitting there turning against our president. They would be on his side, and they would be backing him, and they would be standing back from the Clintons going, whoa, look at what these people did. But no, they're standing with the corrupt. And that is why I am doing this video, because I am getting tired of people defending the criminals of this country and throwing the good people under the bus that are doing good things for our country. And Mr. Trump is doing great things for our country. We have to get on that border. We have to secure this place. We have to create jobs. We have to get things done. And if we don't, we're going to lose it all. And that is, then we'd be in big shit. And I know people don't like to talk about shit, but sometimes we do. Have a great day. If you like my video, forward it, and God bless.